I'm going to start with a question. Do you remember the day you decide to dedicate your life to Bitcoin, to freedom? Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. I do remember. I'm going to tell you my story. I remember the day exactly. It was in October 21 in Miami while listening one of the activists that he's here. Thank you for coming. And after these 2 days listening all the human activists is a huge motivation to keep working in Bitcoin. The experience of the human activists are so powerful because they pass through darkness, but still they have so much love and bright and hope in their hearts. And that made me take action myself. Then I quit my job in Silicon Valley and decided to stay and spend my Bitcoin in fund Libreria de Satoshi. What is Libreria de Satoshi? It's a Bitcoin hub. People say it's a Bitcoin school. I like to say we are a community. And I embark in this mission to make Bitcoin accessible to Spanish speakers. I call it Libreria de Satoshi because in reference to the great library of Alexandria. If you love the history of Alexandria, actually, it was not important by the books, but it was important for the people who were in Alexandria talking about the most crucial topics. And then sounds familiar, right? It's what every Bitcoin does, what in Oslo we do, talking about the most important things. And in fact, for those who you don't know me, I learned to speak English a few years ago, and I learned programming while being in America. Then I know how important it is to learn Bitcoin, but I know all the barriers when you don't speak the language that everybody speaks. Like 7 years ago, I couldn't be here talking to you, not even outside, even in this stage. I remember, fun fact, when I started with Bitcoin, the only thing that was in the Google was the white paper, and it was a white paper in English and the white paper in Cyrillic. And I say, no, Cyrillic is too hard. I'm going to stick with English. Then, so far, so good. And let me tell you something. One day I have a nightmare, and every single country of Latin America, or maybe most of them, they were in dictatorships. And Mexico, where I'm from, was a narco state. People were suffering. Human rights were violated. Millions of people lost their lives. Sadly, this is not a dream. That's the story of Latin America. And the fact that today we have a democracy doesn't mean we cannot lose democracy in our countries next day. We need to keep fighting for democracy. And today, we have still people in Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. I have students who tell me stories that make you cry. Every time that I want to stop working, I remember what I'm working. And why is this important? Why is it important to talk about the history of Latin America and all the dictatorships? It's because now we have something named CBDCs, or central bank digital currencies. And they can finish with our freedom. What happened with a central bank digital currency? Governments not only going to print money, but they are going to do massive surveillance. They are going to know how you spend your money, when, everything. And they are not even hiding. They are saying digital currencies for government is for massive surveillance. And we can be in the most dark place that we never be in the history of humanity. But I know it's a lot of darkness, but also as dark as it could be, I have a big dream. And I have a big dream where everybody works together and we make Bitcoin open source, decentralized. Let me tell you a little bit more about my dream. I believe it's possible if we work together to decentralize Bitcoin software development all around the globe. In our dream, these heroes, aka Bitcoin developers, are all spread the world. In Mexico, in Argentina, in Latin America, in the Caribbean, in Asia, in India, everywhere. Bitcoin development right now is very centralized. Then if we care about decentralization, why we don't decentralize Bitcoin development? I cannot take the war. I need your help. And I can do what I always do, start simple, keep stupid simple. Then I'm starting with Latin America because my Spanish is very good. Then don't forget that Bitcoin is a tool for freedom. Bitcoin is censorship resistant. There is no dictator that can make you not use Bitcoin. It's permissionless. You don't need papers. You don't need documents. Nobody is illegal for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is for everyone, even for machines. And when I create Library of Satoshi or Libreria of Satoshi, I always remember that Bitcoin is a beautiful money. It's a perfect money. Bitcoin doesn't have to do a lot of things. It has to work for freedom, and it's working for freedom. This is what we are doing. Our mission is to make Bitcoin technical training accessible in your own language. This is our mission, and something that we believe is Bitcoin is a tool for freedom. Bitcoin should be a human right too. But it looks crazy to think that Bitcoin it could be accessible. It's so complex, so difficult. This is why we need more educators, developers, entrepreneurs. We need every single of you. And one thing that I want to say is Bitcoin technical training is crucial for the future of humanity. This is really important to remember. When you are in your job every single day coding, remember that sharing is caring. Share your knowledge. Don't keep it to you. Keep talking with people about Bitcoin. Keep sharing your Bitcoin love. Yeah. In Library of Satoshi, our goal is to foster the next generation of Bitcoin contributors, entrepreneurs, educators. We don't want to tell people what to do. We are not dictatorships. We want to create paths for everyone to decide what they want to do. And a little bit of what we've been doing in almost 2.5 years, we give scholarships. We have a community of more than 400 members, 250 scholarships. We have a group of volunteers. We've been running as a volunteer until we got a grant. And there is success stories. There is people who create startups like green mining and people who got jobs. And now we are in 25 countries. But it's not enough classes. Then last month, we launched Bitcoin for open source. Bitcoin for open source, if you can get in the website, is b4os.dev. Bitcoin for open source is a technical training focused in senior developers that enables to advance in their career. For approximately half a year, developers participate part-time, improving their skills. They go for a fast-track training. We help them to learn Bitcoin, love Bitcoin, and then for 4 months, they do portfolio building and mentorship. What we are trying to do in Library of Satoshi is not competing with nobody, but see what is missing. In our classes, we help people to get into the chain code study groups. We send our students to take classes with Base 58. We are trying to see what is missing and create a new category. What is missing here is a program, a transitional program between your fiat job of your Web3 job and Bitcoin open source. Then we are creating this bridge with the career transition micro grant. As today, these are the numbers. And we believe we are going to have 20 senior developers ready for a micro grant. And normally people say, well, developers should just start working. But an African developer, a Latin American developer, somebody in Asia, in the South Globe, we cannot stop working and just don't feed their families. These developers have kids, and they have a wife and a husband. They're going to say, hey, stop playing with Bitcoin. But a micro grant is going to allow their families to take this serious, and it's going to help so much. Let's decentralize Bitcoin together. You can help us thrive in Latin America and everywhere in the world. You can replicate this program in your country if you want. Become a mentor. If you're a developer, become a mentor. You are going to have excellent senior developers to help you in your projects. The 2 fun micro grants. Like if you're a company and you work in open source, you can have people working in your companies. If you're a company and don't work in open source, work in open source. And third, spread the word. Our voices are powerful. Like, call to developers, call to companies, talk about this, and keep spreading the word. And last, thank you so much. Muchas gracias a ustedes for listening me, and to Human Rights Foundation and Alex Gladstein for inviting me, and for all the people who believe in this crazy person who started by herself, Libreria de Satoshi. Thank you.